That is loud.
Stories of the Bible. Nope.
Screen sharing.
Stories of the Bible. Noah and the flood. This is Noah.
Hey!
Noah was a good man who tried to do the right thing.
Yeah!
But in the time when Noah lived, he was the only man on earth who was doing the right thing. All the other people on earth were doing evil things and hurting each other.
Idiot!
This made God very sad. So God said that he was going to send a flood to the earth that would destroy every living thing on earth because he was sorry he ever made them. But God decided to save Noah and his family. God told Noah to build a boat and fill it with 2 of every kind of animal and bird.
Colors, birds, moss, okay, all here.
Noah did just that, and then Noah and his whole family boarded the boat and waited for the flood to come. The rain fell hard for 40 days and 40 nights. Water covered the whole earth, and the boat floated safely on the surface. Water covered even the highest mountains on earth, but Noah and his family were saved. God remembered Noah and all the animals on the boat. God sent a wind to blow across the earth, and the flood began to go away. After 5 months, the boat came to rest on a mountaintop. A few months later, the other mountains could be seen. 40 days later, Noah opened a window and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the flood had dried up. He also sent a dove out to see if it could find dry ground, but the dove couldn't find a place to land because there was still water on the ground. So the dove returned to the boat.
Oh, hello again.
After another 7 days, Noah sent the dove out again. This time, it came back with an olive leaf.
Oh, bingo.
So Noah knew that the floodwaters were almost gone. A week later, he sent the dove out again, and it didn't come back. So many months after the flood began, Noah opened the covering of the boat, saw that the ground was drying. He waited 2 more months, and at last, the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Leave the boat, all of you. Release the animals so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth."
Okay.
So Noah, his family, and all the animals finally left the boat.
See ya.
Noah built an altar to the Lord to make a sacrifice to God. God was pleased with Noah's offering and said to himself that he would never...
Mr. Sharp, where did all that water recede to? I don't know. Look, I don't want to get into it. All right, it's not important. It's not important. I'll tell you what is important, though. We might need another ark someday. It'll probably look more like this. To get the hell out of here. Because we're really effing things up on this planet bad. And it might come to it where we say, look, it's too messed up. We're out. Now let's pretend we're getting out of here. Me, some of the students that pay attention, do a good job. Take Hunter, maybe Miller. Who else? Yeah, take Logue. Smee has a video on, usually we'll take her. Papa's doing good this year. Take him with us. Oh! I'm not going to draw a really good spaceship, but we get on our spaceship, the Ark 2.0, and we're out of here. We're out of here. It's got a little antenna. Were you putting the antenna there? Yeah, put the antenna there. We're in our capsule here. We're out. Find another star with another planet, because we screwed this one up bad. We're on our way. We're getting out there now. We're out there in the ether. Moving along, heading towards, the star system that we think is where we want to go. And then some banana head, I won't mention any names, Mr. Sharp, spills coffee all over the control panel. Moron! Entire ship shut down now. Whole thing shorted out. No power, no thrusters, no boosters, nothing. Now we're like, real great, Mr. Sharp. Now we're really screwed. I say, don't worry. Newton's first law. We were heading in the right direction, at the right speed. When I spilled the coffee, we must still be going that way. Papa says, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we stopped moving altogether when you spilled the coffee like a moron. Now we're all arguing, and we don't know what the hell's going on. Are we still moving?
Yeah, because inertia.
Okay.
I think it depends on where you are. Like, are we near planets?
Are you being impacted by gravitational pull, or are you just going through the void of space?
Yeah, no, we're in between star systems by a long shot. We're out there.
Then there won't be any drag to stop it. It'll just keep going.
No drag, so we're still moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, we better figure it out. Got a real problem now. Can the ship be fixed? No. Totally short-circuited. And then I say, wait a second. I see something. And sure enough, there is something. It's getting bigger and bigger. And another ship. I don't know what alien civilization they came from, but this ship blows right by us. And I say, see? I told you we were moving. We flew right by them. And Under says, no, you idiot. They drove by us. We're standing still. So what happened? Did this happen or did this happen? Papa jumps in and he says, listen, just calm down. It looked like they were going 100,000 miles per hour this way, but we're all good. Everything's good because what actually happened is we were going this way at 50,000 miles per hour and they were going this way at 50,000 miles per hour. And we were both moving, so everyone can just calm down. And then the instigator, Smee, said, no, we were going 60 this way. They were only going 40 this way. And now there's a fist fight. And now people are just making up numbers. No, we were going 76,000. They were going 34. Don't tell me. Someone better get to the bottom of this stuff.
I think it's more likely that the other ship was moving faster because I assume that nobody spilled coffee on their controls, so they were probably going at a normal speed.
That's great, because someone in the last class said the same thing. I will tell you, I got a decent look in their capsule as they drove by. And their capsule was also shut down. And they looked like they were in the same stupid situation we were in.
If they were in the same situation as us and they were moving, then wouldn't we both be moving at like the same? I don't know. But
Hey, well, thanks for trying. Anybody else want to get in on this? Which ship is moving?
Both?
At what speeds? So again,
The one on
if
top
let's
is
just pretend
faster?
I had a battery-powered radar gun, and as they went by, I pointed it at them, and it read 100,000 miles per hour. So they're both moving, but is one moving at 100,000 and the other's not moving? Or is there are we in the middle somewhere?
The bottom one is moving slower than the top one.
How can we be sure, and why? Well, I mean, I guess it only makes sense that we were stupid enough to F up our own planet. Now we're out in space and we can't even figure out if we're moving at all. So we probably deserve to die anyway. Horrible. But we'll call this physical science. And let's talk about what it means to be in motion. So last chance, which one of those objects is in motion? Let me ask you this. Are you in motion now? Caitlin Logue, are you in motion?
Yeah.
You think you are?
Yes.
You don't look to be moving to me.
we're going pretty fast as the Earth rotates and
Yeah,
also as
I'm on the
Earth
Earth and the
moves.
Earth is moving.
Like,
All right, okay. Hunter's
going
saying
fast.
due to the rotation of the Earth I'm moving, my distance to the sun is changing because when it's noon, I'm a lot closer to the sun than when it's midnight. So my distance is changing. But if I come in your room and point a radar gun at you, it's going to read 0. And I say, you're not moving.
Because we're moving at the same speed. So if we're both moving, like, there's no difference for you.
But is the radar gun that's pointed at you from across the hall that's telling you you're not in motion, right? Or is your measure, your distance from the sun, that is changing over time? Are you in motion or aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about this with a plane earlier this year, and then, like, depending on how fast you were moving, you'd measure the plane moving at different. So I assume if you were moving at the same spot as the plane, it would look like it was moving, but I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I think I did talk about a plane and a rocket being shot off the plane. Did I talk about that just with you or with everybody?
With everybody, I have it in notes.
Okay. Okay, like lots of things, or like, like lots of things or some things. Motion is relative. Motion is relative. Einstein's beautiful, conclusion that he was able to come to is that lots of things are relative. This theory of relativity. Motion is relative. An object is in motion if its distance to a reference an object is in motion if its distance to a reference point is changing over time. If you don't have a reference point, you don't, which is also referred to, just in case you hear it, an inertial frame of reference. Okay, but for 8th grade, we can call it a reference point. An inertial frame of reference. A reference point, if you don't identify one, then don't argue about whether something's in motion or not, because the conversation has no point, it has no value, and it has no right answer. Because if you think about the spaceships and you don't have a reference point, which one is moving and at what speed don't friggin' matter. Because their distance is not changing because you haven't identified anything that their distance can be changing from. So you can argue till the end of time and there's no point to the argument. Makes no sense and has no meaning whatsoever. If we think about, we think about a stupid train. Trains aren't stupid, Mr. Sharp. Whatever. Choo-choo train. If the guy on the train looks down here, his experience is going to be is that the earth, the ground, the crust, with the guy standing on it, are all moving at 60 miles per hour in this direction. But if this is the reference point, as viewed from this way here, this guy's going to say the train's moving at 60 miles per hour. Now, here's the thing. You probably had a harder time with this because you think of the train as moving because your life experience is filled with reference points that are around you. And a lot of those don't move as much as other things, or, from our perspective, they don't. But trust me, both of these statements are equally valid. Definitely. 100%. It's like if the guy on the train, I have to stop this soon. It's like the guy on the train, if he has a ball, if the guy on the train has a ball and he throws that ball up in the air, and he says, well, yeah, I'm going to use my eyes as the reference point. My eyes are the reference point. Or the, wall of the train or whatever. And he says, well, what's the path of the ball? What's the path of the ball? Well, the path of the ball to him was up and down, straight up and down. But this guy here viewed the same event, when the guy threw the ball up here, it went like this. Because when it came back down, the train was way over here. So which path is correct? Did the ball move like this, or did the ball move like this?
It depends on your reference.
Thank you, Alice! It depends on the reference point. Because from this guy's perspective, from this reference point, the ball went straight up and down. From this guy's perspective point, the ball went like that in a parabolic arc. And what's the right answer? There isn't one. Because this guy saw what he saw, this, and that's right from that reference point. But this guy here, you're driving down a car 80 miles an hour and you say, how'd the ball move? It went straight up and down. That's also right from that reference point. That will be good for today. You're not going, don't go anywhere until you check Google Classroom. I would like you to start working on, I posted it, I can screen share it with you, but you can see it in Classroom too. It's Zingy Learning 46. It's Forces 1. There's Forces 2, that is 47. We'll get to that. But if you could spend 10 or 15 minutes working on that before you do whatever the hell you do on a Monday afternoon, that would be awesome for me. But does everyone understand that all I'm trying to talk right now to start is that if I ask you if something's in motion and you answer me, you're wrong every time. There's only one thing you can say when I say, is this in motion? And what is that? Rice!
It's relative to who's viewing it.
Okay. Just say in reference to what, or what is the reference point? In reference to what, or what is the reference point? Because again, and I'm sure I'll be saying this tomorrow early in class, like, is this in motion? Don't answer until you say, in reference to what? Or what is the reference point? Because if you don't know that, then the whole conversation has no meaning, value, there's no point to it whatsoever. Great, great, great. Any questions about the Zingy Learning that I want you to spend 10 minutes working on? Because we're not going to stay together because I have to go somewhere. I have to go to Boston and get my first shot of Moderna. This is very exciting. And that'll be it. All right, so no questions on that? All right, great. Thank you so much. And I will see you all tomorrow.